Welcome. Sit back and relax. Grab your headphones, something to drink, and enjoy. 1Trance by Reboot and Quantum Solar. Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of 1Trance podcast. I'm Reboot, also known as Manuel, and I'm doing the podcast interview alone today because my partner in crime, Quantum Solar, Danny, is not feeling well. Hope he feels better soon. Today's guest needs no introduction. Our guest is a British trance DJ and producer from England with a career spanning over 15 years in electronic dance. It all started in 2007 during a trip to a small island where he saw a legendary DJ play at a massive club. That experience inspired him to buy his first decks and start DJing shortly after that. More on that later, though. He quickly built a reputation in the UK, playing at prominent venues like Albert Hall in Manchester, Tall Trees, Digital Newcastle, and O2 Academy, as also doing events like Good Grief, Digital Society, Eliminate, and more recently, Luminosity Beach Festival. He shared stages with true trance legends, including Paul van Dyk, Paul Oakenfold, Gareth, Emery, and many others. Again, he's an international DJ with gigs at ADE, Amsterdam Dance Event, in this year. And that's actually where I met him for the first time and got to talk to him and see him play. Around 2012, 2014, he transitioned to production, taking studio lessons from producers such as Sean Truby. His music has been released on major labels as well. Future Sound of Egypt, Armada Music, Black Hole Recordings, Vandit from PVD himself, and Pure Trance. He did get a breakthrough recognition from another major DJ around 2016 as the breakthrough DJ of that year, 2016. And that endorsement is what helped our guest elevate his career. He also has done some amazing collaborations, such as Place in the Stars and BS1 with the one and only Craig Cottle. And he has other collaborations going on with other artists as we speak. He also has a podcast called Cottlecast, a weekly podcast where he mixes melodic trance and reflects on fresh trance production from around the world, connecting him even more with fans and artists alike. His more recent releases include tracks such as Chasing Butterflies with the very talented Carrie, and Tonight, which, by the way, I'm playing on my mix tomorrow on TikTok, in addition with doing regular mixes and live streams. They're also shared on other platforms such as SoundCloud. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome James Cottle. The floor is yours, James. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the amazing introduction, Manuel. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's start with the vibe. You know, you started as a DJ many years ago.
Yes.
Between then and now, I want to see if you have the same vibe, the same feeling. When people say see your name on a lineup, you know, you're doing a festival, people see your name on a lineup. What's the first feeling that you hope that those people that see your name have, knowing that you're in the lineup?
I'd hope that people are excited to see me, excited to hear my music, and that they're going to go along to the night or the evening knowing that they're going to make some incredible memories together, and of course, escape from reality for a few moments.
Exactly. That always helps. Going back to what I mentioned earlier about you going to a small island, watching this big name DJ, can you please tell us about that experience from 2007, I believe?
Yeah, so my experience with going out clubbing actually started in England. And yeah, so I had never seen Paul van Dyk perform. I'd seen more like Arm van Buuren, Sander van Doorn, Eddie Halliwell, people like this. Then I went on my first holiday with the lads' holiday, we call it in England, with my friends. And finally went to Amnesia to see Paul van Dyk at Cream Ibiza. Obviously, I'd heard the amazing track For an Angel. But this really, he was doing his in-between album tour at the time, his album that was released in 2007. I was just blown away by the night, and I think Paul has a really distinct sound, which I felt like the energy and just he's not afraid to play more unusual classics. And he's made some really like small tracks big because he's played them. He's not like other artists.
No, you're right about that. From that specific night, was there a specific track? Because this became your inspiration, as I mentioned. Was there a
Yes.
specific track that kind of just hit you in the face as, something, this is something that I got to do, that I have to do?
Yeah, so I mean, it's track New York City with Ashley Tomberlin. It's got amazing vocals, and I love the feel of the record. And that was a standout track for me on the night. That together with the Amnesia ice caddying coming down and dancing with my friends. And after this holiday, I actually bought the Cream Ibiza 2007 CD, um, and took it home and was listening to it in my car, in my Peugeot 106 at the time. And
Yeah.
I had an auntie who had gave me some money for a birthday, and I decided to buy some Pioneer CDJs at the time with that money.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how the journey into DJing started. And yeah, I mean, from then it was just, downloading the Vandit releases and burning them to CD and write them on the CD and things like this and learning to DJ. Contacted a guy locally and he taught me to DJ, and yeah,
So if I
that's
may
how it
ask,
went.
so after that moment, because I have a follow-up question, but in between, after that moment and you bought the decks and you started DJing, did it take a while for you to get your initial gigs to actually go out there and start playing locally?
Yes, it did. It took like 1 year really. So or maybe it's 1.5 years. So it was it was quite difficult for me to learn to DJ back then. And I was actually DJing, playing trance music, and also at the time, electro house was
Okay.
quite big at
Yep.
the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Layback Luke, early Swedish house mafia stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really loved
absolutely.
it. I really loved it. So I contacted the guy locally. He was like a DJ music teacher. And I go around to his studio and he teach me to DJ. And, we got on really well. And after about 6 months, he had this cousin who was learning to DJ too. And we created our own event in our hometown, it was called Technologic. So I would play trance, they would play electro house, and a bit of techno and things like this. And it went from there. And yeah, so I played my first actual gig in September 2009, I think it was.
Okay. Wow.
And it's really funny because the guy who taught me to DJ, he was late for the event, so he actually missed my set.
No.
So later, so he missed my set. So he said, "Oh, well, you've got to show me, prove to me you can DJ in front of people." So he had a word with the DJs on later on, and he says you're gonna have to let him do a mix. So I went and did a mix. I had a few drinks, and it was these CDJ 1000s that were on stands, and I would had a drink, and I hit the press play button really hard, and it fell off the fell off the stand.
Oh, what a story.
It's really, really awkward, but I've got a fond memory of playing my first gig because there was an amazing track at the time called Wippenberg Shakalaka,
Okay.
and it was quite a big track from a German artist, I think it was, and I was really pleased to play that track because Paul van Dyk used to play in his sets as well. That's
Of
why I
course,
heard
it all
it.
connects together, but what a wonderful memory. I mean, yeah, you pushed the button too hard, but what a wonderful memory of you doing your first gig and then having to show your teacher, you like a better description, that you can actually do it. And you did it, and you did it in such a memory. Fast forward a few years,
Mm,
2016, you
yeah.
got a big accolade from a big DJ.
Yes.
How, you can mention the name of the DJ. How did you hear about it? How do you actually find out? And after you found out, I mean, oh my God, I'm so nervous now, or I'm super hyped about it, excited, or both, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, so I mean, I was really excited when Paul van Dyk named me as a breakthrough DJ. It was 2016. It was in his DJ Mag Poland interview, wasn't it? In the article. I was really, really excited. I'd been sending him my music for a while, and he kept up. Someone from his office says, "Oh, this is a really good idea, but it doesn't quite sound right. It doesn't sound good enough. But please keep sending your music." And I think I was really like fortunate because I was actually working for Good Grief Events at the
Okay.
time,
Yep.
and they had booked Paul Van Dyke to DJ quite a few times over the years. So when I sent my first track over to Vanda, I said, "My name is James. I work for Good Grief," and I think that was like a little way in to get a response straight away.
Yep.
But yeah, I was completely blown away. It's like something of dreams to listen to somebody's music from a teenager to 10 years later
Yeah. I mean
receive that accolade.
that's a huge recognition. But how did you actually find out that you had gotten that recognition?
Yeah, I just received an email from the band office from one of Paul's colleagues. Yes,
Switching
like
to
networking.
studio time. Yep, networking. Yeah, absolutely, you got it too. Switching to studio time. You switched to about 2012, 2014. You switched to more producing.
Yes.
So the process, the James Cottle process. Do you have an idea that you start with a melody in mind, or do you just go in there and say, okay, let's see what I can mess with and see what it comes out?
Yeah, so I like to start with writing a melody that I love really before I can move on. I mean, that process might change in the future, but I like to have a really good melody locked down, and I can feel I can move on and make a track out of it.
Okay, so do you have the melody before you have the beat, kind of thing?
Yes, yeah. So whether that's playing something on the keyboard, like very loosely, and or just dropping and dragging notes, um, yeah, studying chord progressions from great tracks from the past is a good
Okay.
one to help you out. So that's how I do it.
And how do you decide on a track that it feels more pure and like a better description versus a huge driving bang or just full of energy? How do you decide between that balance?
Well, at the moment, I think it's actually quite unbalanced for myself because I'm more uplifting. So I just want people to get lost in the melodies and have a great time and get that melody really stuck into the head. So that's kind of the route I go down. In the future, I'm going to be doing some more crossover, banging stuff, tech trance, just to freshen things up for myself. Yeah.
And I've noticed that there's a lot of other producers. Well, there's a few other producers that I know and talk to that they either started with progressive trance and moved up to, the 138, 140 BPMs, or went even harder than that, to more techie
Hmm.
sound trance.
Hmm.
Collaborations, though, you have worked with some amazing legends. I mean, one of my biggest, I like the most, one of them is Craig Connolly. I mean, I got the chance to meet him at Transmission and Prague, things like
Yes.
that. And then, shook his hand, said
Awesome.
hi to him. And then you also work with Carrie,
Yes.
phenomenal vocalist. When it comes to today's age, I know Craig lives in the UK. I don't know where Carrie lives. Do you guys still get together physically in a location, or do you guys do like we're doing now, video and file sharing and back and forth? How do you guys work that process?
Yeah. So with Craig Connolly, he's 2.5 hours drive from me.
Okay,
So we have spent a lot of time in the studio, quite a few days collaborating. So I feel like good things always happen when we together rather than like on video call or something like that.
absolutely.
So
Yep.
that's how those collaborations went down. With Carrie, it was different. She lives in the Netherlands, from the Netherlands as well. So 2 years ago, backstage at Luminosity Beach Festival, I met Carrie. I discussed a potential collaboration, and she sent me those. She listened to some of my music and sent over a few ideas, and the Chasing Butterflies lyrics stood out. Like they absolutely blew me away, to be
Oh, it's
honest
an
with you.
amazing track.
File sharing more because
The
yeah,
distance.
but the distance, yeah.
I can just imagine from a producer point of view, and I don't produce, but the excitement of working with these people and seeing the end result. When BS1 came out, I couldn't stop playing. It was on just repeat, repeat, repeat. The vocals of that track, oh wow, that lady is the vocals are amazing. So it was just an amazing track. Now, you've been producing since, like I said, since 2012, 2014 or so. What's one old production habit that you've had for so many years or so, and now you kind of got rid of it, ditched it, that helped you become an even better producer?
Yeah, so I used to always not want to listen to others people's music and reference it. I didn't want to be influenced by other people's music, but I think it was maybe it's a bit silly. So when I'm working now, I have like 2 or 3 reference tracks in the project, just as a guide, really. And 7 or 8 years ago, I didn't used to do that, and you end up being stuck on a loop for hours on end and not really going anywhere. So yeah,
I mean,
I'm definitely doing.
in my opinion, there's nothing like I said, I'm the kind of job I do. I go online and hey, ChatGPT is your friend and others because sometimes we get stuck with certain situations. Now, a side question to this is, what is your take? AI is everywhere. I mean, it feels like it's just last year started this big and now it's boom, spreading,
Mhm.
and to more and more to
Yes.
come. More to come in 2020. Sure. What is your take on AI as a tool? On a previous podcast, we mentioned vocal. What do you feel of AI as a tool when it comes to producing?
I mean, it could help you, for example, if you want to, like, struggling with your track and you want to ask Chat GP, is it GPT or GBT? I
Yeah,
never know.
GPT. No, no,
Yeah.
it's ChatGPT. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't use it loads and loads. You can ask it to create you a step-by-step guide to finish your track in 2 days. That could be helpful. In terms of, like, asking it, I don't know what people do. Are people doing it where AI is creating tracks for people? Or, I mean, I haven't really used it much. Maybe
So
it's, like, made me a plan for a day to get to this certain point in the track or.
absolutely, it can be used as a tool. The reason I ask is because we also, like I said, I asked this on the previous podcast to the guest, and he kind of mentioned that it could be useful as a tool. The thing that a lot of people that I've talked to that they mention is, what could take you. I don't know how long it takes you to get a track done. How long did Black Fishing Butterflies? How long did that take you to get done the full thing?
Yeah, so it took about 6 months, but there was a lot of breaks in between. When I received the vocals, I just for the first 3 months, I didn't really know what to do with it because it's quite complicated with the way the Carrie's written the chords and the lyrics, and then I eventually had a few ideas of how to get on with that. But yeah, in terms of AI, I think it's worrying. Like, I just hope record labels can decipher between actual artists and artists who are getting AI to do a lot of the work for them. Um,
Yes, I agree.
yeah. And one good thing I have been using AI for is it's when I do Cottlecast, I can take a screenshot from Recordbox of my track list and put it into ChatGPT, and it creates the track list really fast for me. So I use it for that.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I I do my playlists and by key, on record box. I do it by key and that's how I mix, and sometimes I change tracks between within the same key just to make sure they sound good together. The reason I mention all this again is because it can take you 6 months to do a track, using the software, this producer software. When somebody that doesn't really produce goes to ChatGPT, types exactly what he wants, and boom, there's a track. One thing we
Hmm.
mentioned, and maybe you agree with it, is that and some people are starting to do it, if you are a producer that do use AI, then you're going to have regular producers and AI producers, and the labels are going to have to label the tracks as such to give the
Hmm.
customer idea, hey, this was created by James using software, this was created by Manuel using AI, kind of thing, to see the difference. Going back to DJing, um, when it comes to the crowd, when you step up to a set and do a festival, doing a live gig, and you step up to the set, what do you do to get that crowd like with you right away, kind of thing?
And I make sure I always open with a big track, whether it's one of my stronger tracks or, I mean, it depends. I played after Paul Van Dyke at Ministry of Sound before. So, you make sure like the first 3 tracks are really banging, the energy's really there. But I've learned over the years to trust my own music, and that's what people are there for. So I do rely heavily on my own music.
As you should. I mean, you're an amazing producer, as you should. Your tracks are amazing. Now, when you do a set, any set, live set, ADE or Luminosity, do you actually plan your set or like a playlist kind of thing? Or you like wing it, like you see the mood of the crowd and you like, okay, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play that, or you actually have a playlist?
Yeah, so I plan all my sets. However, when you're DJing, something happens and you just decide to play another track. You might think, actually, I need to play a vocal track now. I need to play a really big classic now. I always change something. And I did that recently at a gig at CUC Uplifting with
Okay.
Sijaro and Pitch.
Amazing too, as
Um,
well.
I normally like switch things around a little bit. Yeah, just depending on how the crowd are reacting and what energy you're receiving back from them, and you might have an idea of a different direction the way you want to take them.
But at least you have a pool of tracks that you can adjust on the fly and bring in and read the crowd, like you mentioned. So, Cottlecast. I know you started doing this podcast. I've heard of a very interesting location that you've done the famous tanning salon set.
Yes.
Where do you get these ideas? I mean, I would never do a live gig on a tanning salon, but hey, I've seen other DJs in Amsterdam mixing on a shoe store.
Right.
Where do you get these ideas from? And besides the tanning salon, which one has been the weirdest one for you so far?
Yeah, I mean, probably the Italian salon is the weirdest one so far. And it was actually my manager's idea. It's actually my cousin's tanning shop. And he just had the whole thing refurbished. So we thought we'd do something. We just try to think of out of the box ideas rather than just do the normal things like DJ in the studio. When I was doing the TikTok DJ sets, it was downstairs in my living room. We've done a couple of locations. So we've actually recorded a DJ set in the financial district in Manhattan.
I saw that. I saw
And it'll
that
be,
on the
yes,
socials. Yeah, that's amazing.
yes. We will get round to doing that as a Cottle cast, but there's a lot of editing involved. We did a few different camera angles and things like this. I just want to freshen things up a little bit for myself.
Yeah.
The world changed. Everyone's doing these sets now, isn't it? So I've joined in.
No, absolutely. You got to have variety. I mean, I do my sets in this office here with some lights that I have, but you got to have variety. I mean, that keeps the people interested and they remember you because you did this differently. So when it comes to new producers, like I said, you've been doing this for over 15 years. You have all this experience. What's the one thing that new producers today get wrong? And in order to stay in the trance business and producing trance for the long haul?
Well, I think you should go ahead and produce and make the music you love and not follow trends. That's just my view. Advice to any new producers was do not go and buy too many third party plugins and virtual instruments because you don't need them. I mean, I use Ableton Live 12, and there's many good plugins and instruments in there to use. And it's that's a reflection upon myself. 10 years ago, I went and bought all these things that I simply did not need and wasted thousands of pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think it's always, but it's marketing, isn't it? You always see these things on sale and you get hooked in and you maybe buy that new plugin or instrument that you think's gonna push you onto a next level of music production. Learning to use the tools that you have, you will then reap the rewards more.
Exactly. So before I had this, before I got this controller, I was using Tractor. I love Tractor, control from Tractor. This is just so I could learn to DJ more professionally if I ever get a gig. So I'm used to it. My son, he uses FL Studio to produce hip
Okay.
hop and rap music. Yeah, he doesn't like my music. But he had bought a piece of equipment that was quite expensive, and then it didn't work the way you did. And then he bought a much cheaper one that just works flawless for him. So you're right about the hooking for items and stuff like that. For the past few years, me personally, now I knew even more, I'm sure, because you're in the middle of this, have seen kind of a rebirth, resurgence of trance in these
Yes.
couple past year. Why does the trance scene feel so fresh right now? What's so good about it that it's like, oh my God, this is so good?
I think people were maybe is getting tired of tracks without emotion, and trance music is very emotional.
Absolutely.
I also think also the sounds, the genres of music, dance music, are all very like mixed together now. So that's why it's also very fresh. So there's like this resurgence of like trance times hard house at the moment. It's like a lot more like faster and banging, but it's got like beautiful melodies and beautiful chords.
I mean, there's even a new category that Armin van Buuren mentioned, melodic trance.
Yes.
So it's all
And of course, there's like techno, there's like the slowed down techno that just sounds like old school trance as well. So I think maybe post pandemic, people want more emotion.
okay. Yeah,
You know, it's good for us as trance artists. So
absolutely.
long may it continue.
Yes. And then what do you have? Do you have anything cooking? I know the year just started, I know, but do you have anything bigger cooking? Any secret ideas or any album news that you want to tease? And we'll tag all this into when we post the podcast, we'll tag anything that you say, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's been on my mind about doing an album, but not just yet. Not just yet. I've got like 4 or 5 tracks in the works, and I'm performing at Unconscious Beach Festival at
Okay.
the end of this month in Pattaya, in Thailand. And
Nice.
I'm working really hard to finish like 3 or 4 tracks to debut them there, get feedback from the crowd, see how it goes. I am working on another big vocal project as well.
Okay. Great. The vocal
And this
trance is
year,
amazing.
yeah. But everybody loves vocals, and I definitely need to do more vocal trance after the success with Carrie and Craig Connolly. So I'm also going to remix some more classics, actually,
Awesome. That's
like
amazing.
bootleg them, remixes for my sets. And yeah,
Absolutely.
and just push more in the direction of making more exclusive material for my DJ sets.
Of course. Now, those bootlegs, do you ever put them out on SoundCloud for people to actually listen and download them, or just use them on your
Yeah,
sets?
well, I'll probably put some of them on SoundCloud, and maybe it's like next year I can do a Christmas giveaway. But I'll probably clear it with the original artist first. Yeah.
As you should, yeah.
I
Are you
don't
going to
like
be
to.
at Luminosity this year as well?
Yeah, well, I'm at Luminosity. I'm playing on the Thursday at Luminosity Beach
Um,
Festival. I can't say
I'm
which stage yet, but it'll be released in a few months, I think, that information. But I'm so pleased to be back. Yeah.
I've never been, but I'm making plans to probably go this year because there's always so many. I've always seen the pictures of everybody that comes from UK and from other places, and they all meet there, and everybody like ADE, where you meet a lot of people, but on the beach, kind of thing. All right, so we always end in our podcast with 6 quick fire questions. Short question, short answers. Here we go.
This is the quick fire round.
All right, question number 1.
Okay.
What's one trance classic that you never, ever, ever get tired of dropping on a set?
BT Flamin' June, Paul Van Dyke remix.
Awesome. Question number 2. What's an essential piece of gear or plug-in in your studio right now that you cannot live without it?
It's Ableton's glue compressor.
Okay. Now, the next question, I've seen you post about this. What's the best recovery meal after a late night gig?
Well, I'm going to actually say Indian food. I like chicken tikka masala Indian food. I mean, I post a lot of food on my stories.
Yeah,
I
no,
should
I've
stop,
seen that.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen. No, that's good. That's good stuff. Dream collaboration. Anybody currently living or a legend from the past that you'd love to do a dream collaboration with?
Michel Jean-Jacques, the French
Yeah,
electronic guy. Yeah,
yeah.
he's an absolute pioneer. Yeah, I
All
love
right,
his music. I love what he's done.
absolutely. I don't know if you're a late night person or early morning person. So late night inspiration or early morning clarity.
Early morning clarity.
Okay, so yeah, you're a morning person. Okay, and the last question, one word right now that can describe trance to you.
Powerful.
Amazing. So again, James, this has been a blast. I really have enjoyed our conversation. Thanks for taking your time. It's been great diving into your journey and your perspective of trance. Any last words for us?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, Manuel, for having me on your podcast. Really enjoyed it. And thanks to the trance music community for all your support. And yeah, I can't wait to show you what I have in store for you all this year.
Yes, sir. And like I said, we'll tag Chasing Butterflies and tonight, the new one. We'll tag all your latest tracks on the podcast, your social pages as well. For everyone listening, make sure
Thank
you
you.
check out James Cottle latest release and keep an eye on these upcoming podcasts and live sets and everything. If you enjoyed the episode, subscribe, share it with fellow trance lovers, and we'll see you on the next journey. We'll be posting this full video later on this week. And James, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
You're welcome. Most welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching and listening to the 1Trance podcast. Do you have any questions you would like to have answered? Let us know. Take care, and see you next time. 1Trance, where trance meets you.